6 men went underground. None came back. Before this video begins, take a second to subscribe, because stories like this are real, forgotten, and once you hear them, you won't stop thinking about them. This is not fiction. This is not a legend. And there is no happy ending. June 18th, 1971, Northern Florida. At exactly 10:40 p.m., 6 experienced mine workers stepped into an industrial elevator and descended hundreds of feet underground. They were seen. They were logged. Their equipment was checked. Their destination was known. They never came back. No bodies. No collapse. No emergency call. No explanation. This is the unexplained disappearance of 6 mine workers at Site F-12. Site F-12 was a phosphate mine hidden deep inland, far from Florida's coastlines and tourist towns. Surrounded by swamp and forest, it had been operating quietly since the 1940s. By 1971, it was old, unstable in places, but still active. Only a small night crew remained, men who knew the tunnels better than anyone alive. Harold Finch was the foreman. Calm, methodical, trusted. Eugene Parker had worked underground for 22 years. Samuel Brooks and Thomas Reed handled structural inspections. William Knox managed electrical systems. Daniel Ortiz was the youngest, but not inexperienced. Their assignment that night was routine. Inspect a slow water seep in level 3 and move unused equipment. No risk alerts were issued. Gas sensors read normal. Structural reports showed no danger. At 10:40 p.m., the elevator descended. At 11:15 p.m., internal systems showed normal activity. At 12:30 a.m., lights were still active in level 3. At 1:10 a.m., the control room attempted a routine radio check. No response. At first, no one panicked. Underground radios often failed. A second call was made, then a third. Still nothing. At 1:52 a.m., the supervisor logged an anomaly. At 2:07 a.m., the mine was placed on partial lockdown. When the morning shift arrived, they descended cautiously. What they found was worse than an accident. Level 3 was intact. Completely. No cave-ins. No flooding. No damage. The air was breathable. Power was running. The men's helmets were lined up on a bench. Tools were placed neatly beside the tunnel wall. A thermos of coffee sat open, still warm. Work had stopped mid-task, as if the 6 men had simply stood up and walked away. But there was nowhere to walk to. Level 3 had one operational exit, the elevator shaft. It had not moved since the night before. Emergency tunnels had been sealed years earlier with reinforced concrete. Engineers confirmed there were no undocumented exits. None. Search teams were deployed immediately. Law enforcement, state inspectors, federal mining officials. Dogs were brought in, but they couldn't track anything. The scent simply stopped inside the tunnel. Every possible explanation was investigated. A collapse? No geological disturbance. Gas exposure? Sensors showed nothing abnormal. Equipment failure? All systems were functional. Foul play? No signs of violence. No struggle. No blood. Then came the most unsettling detail. Radio logs showed a brief signal distortion, 12 seconds long, just before all communication from level 3 ceased. No shouting. No panic. No emergency code. Just silence. The case attracted little national attention. There were no dramatic images. No wreckage. No remains. 6 men had vanished without a visible cause, and that made the story difficult to sell and easy to bury. Families demanded answers. They never received them. For years, the men were listed as missing, not deceased. Compensation was delayed. Records were sealed. In 1973, Site F-12 was permanently closed and filled with concrete. The mine still exists beneath the ground. No memorial marks the site. No plaque lists the names. Locals avoid the area, not out of superstition, but because nothing good ever came from asking questions about it. The official investigation ends with one sentence. 6 workers enter the mine. None returned. No theories were proven. No remains were recovered. No explanation was accepted. This was not a story of monsters or myths. No supernatural claims. No legends. Just a sealed mine, a normal shift, and 6 men who disappeared from a place they physically could not escape. And that leaves one question, still unanswered, more than 50 years later. What happened underground when there was nowhere to go?